Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Dragon Age Origins. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're supposed to join me today, even though I'm not very happy to start recording this episode. I've been dreading recording this episode, but I have mustered up the courage, because I will not back down. I mean, I want to. I want to go back and take Liliana away from our team and get Morgan back. But I will not do that for the sake of excitement and goodness of all that is goodness in the world and this Let's Play, basically. Does she have horns on her hat? She has horns. That thing has horns. Is that normal? Yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, we're fighting a dragon, and the game is auto-saving. And I think we're fighting a dragon.
They say music soothes the savage beast, but I'm not going to test that theory.
You are if I tell you to. I'm the one that controls everything. Okay. Where's the oh, the dragon is over there. There's a lot of sulfur, I would say, around here. Although these waters don't look sulfurous to me, because they're not yellow. Although it could be just residual. I mean, they could be very sulfurous. They most likely are. And just they would stain the the ground around them and smell of poo. They would smell of poo. Actually, specifically, they would smell of sewage. But they do that because that's, you know, that's the smell you smell of from sewage. Unless you're leaving a bad place and you smell chemicals that are not natural. I mean, they are natural. They're just not coming from poo, because poo produces, well, the methane when it leaves back the phosphorus acids. I'm not actually sure how it works, but it does an acid. It's made of, it's like sulfuric acid, but it's not. There's two different acids of sulfur. There's two different sulfuric acids. Well, there's many, but the ones that I know, and the one that you smell is the one that produces the smell, basically. In small quantities, it stinks. And in fact, that is one of the ways you can make those stink bombs. The other way is with another compound that involves other things that I also don't know. That's the more common one because it's a lot cheaper. Sulfur is not necessarily a cheap thing to extract. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We didn't come from here. Where does this go? Ruined temple? It's all sideways. Those walls would fall like nobody's business. But we can pretend they wouldn't. Because they sort of look cool. They look much... They do cool. Look cool. Look much cooler than the... Well... Look a lot more realistic, I should say, than what happens at the end of Dark Souls 3. Because at the end of Dark Souls 3, it's so out of this world that it's just a fairy tale. It's I don't know if it's meant to be a fairy tale, but it feels like a fairy tale. And I have a Let's Play. And I have already published the at the time of recording, and at the time of this video going up, I've already published the video where I finished Dark Souls 3. Co-op. Because I finished it on camera, single player. That is a friend, unfortunately. Or I mean, fortunately. Who are you? Why are you red?
I bid you welcome, Pilgrim.
Who are you?
I am the Guardian, the protector of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. I have waited years for this.
For me?
You are the first to arrive in a very long time. It has been my duty, my life, to protect the urn and prepare the way for the faithful who come to revere Andraste. For years beyond counting have I been here, and shall I remain until my task is done and the Imperium has crumbled into the sea.
Well, he looks very young to be here for years. I just said years. Okay. Will your task ever be done? Actually, he sounds like he wants to help me, but I don't know if that's the case.
I do not know, and I do not question.
That's my role. I questioned. I mean, I suppose you answered me. So, who are the men who have taken over the rest of the temple?
When my brethren and I carried Andraste from Tevinter to this sanctuary, we vowed to forever revere her memory and guard her. I have watched generations of my brethren take up the mantle of their fathers. For centuries they did this, unwavering, joyful in their appointed task. But now they have lost their way. They have forgotten Andraste and their promise.
Did they? So the dragon is not Andraste, then?
No. Our Andraste has gone to the Maker's side. She will not return. The dragon is a fearsome creature, and they must have seen her as an alternative to the absent Maker and his silent Andraste. A true believer would not require audacious displays of power.
I just now realized that Andraste is the analog for Jesus. Why didn't I think of that before? The game wasn't very blatant on that. Let's give it, yeah, the game wasn't very blatant on that. It is the analog, but it works, I feel. I mean, I don't like that so many analogs. Even this one, this is almost word for word a verse straight from the Bible. But anyway, how did the belief spread to the rest of the disciples?
It began with an ancestor of the one known as Colgrim. He saw himself as a new prophet, preaching the rebirth. Some disagreed with him. I heard their cries of pain and loss, which were quickly silenced.
Tell me more about the disciples.
When my brethren and I carried Andraste from Tevinter to this sanctuary, we vowed to forever revere her memory and guard her. I have watched generations of my brethren take up the mantle of their fathers. For centuries they did this.
I sense they haven't forgotten her.
They have forgotten that Andraste was just a messenger. They speak no more of the Maker, only of their false Andraste, and even greater sin.
That's also an analog to actual Christian. What's the word? There's a word for, basically there's I would say infighting, but there are different types of Christianism. That this is also a commentary in that, if you want to take it that way. You can draw your own conclusions. I'm not well equipped to mention anything in specific. Why have they fallen for this ridiculous lie? Apparently my character thinks it's ridiculous as well.
It began with an ancestor of the one known as Colgrim. Some disagreed with him. I heard their cries of pain and loss, which were quickly silenced.
Would you like me to get rid of these disciples?
The Maker will sit in judgment of them when the time comes.
Another commonplace. Okay, it's fine, because they will go to heaven. Did they mention heaven? That they don't mention heaven. There's an analog for that. This is the Fade. Is it the Fade, actually? I don't know if it is. I would like to see the urn. Actually, I would like to take it, but let's start with the simple things first.
You have come to honor Andraste, and you shall, if you prove yourself worthy.
But what if I'm not worthy?
Then you will not come to the ashes.
I don't...
It is not my place to decide your worthiness. The gauntlet does that. If you are found worthy, you will see the urn and be allowed to take a small pinch of the ashes for yourself. If not...
Well, if not, can I not ask? That sounds unpleasant. Can it be avoided?
No.
Okay. Well, can you tell me anything else about this gauntlet?
You will understand what it is when you face it.
You'll know it when you see it. Very well. I will enter the gauntlet.
Before you go, there is something I must ask. I see that the path that led you here was not easy.
It's Liliana's fault.
There is suffering in your past.
Yeah, it's all
Your
her.
suffering.
Oh.
And the suffering of others. By the time you reached Shiani, she was broken, brutalized. You were too late.
She wasn't broken.
Did you fail, Shiani?
She wasn't. You can't speak of her like that. She's a survivor. She's freaking stronger than you. Because, you know, she survived and kept on. That's the logic, anyway. What a jerk. And also, name dropping that, I was like, Shiani? That's from The Witcher 1. Actually, from The Witcher 1 is Shani. But it must be his sister. Let's see. So tell me, did you fail? Let's see the options. No, Vangaw? No. Vagan is the villain, not me. Well, that's not necessarily... You know, it's... Yeah, he is absolutely the villain, but... That doesn't mean that you didn't fail her. Anyway, yes, I could have run faster, perhaps. Oh, yeah, we could, but it's all scripted, so I'm not going to say that. Even entertain that thought, because I can't roleplay something that goes against the scripts of the game, scripts of the combat and whatnot. I should have not let her be taken in the first place. Well, I got punched in the back of the head in God mode. Twice, I think it was. That intro vignette has so many God mode back of the head hits. It was her own fault for hitting him with the bottle. Wait. Did she do that? I don't remember. Either way, it's evidently not, even if she insulted him or even she attacked him. How do you know... Well, she did, actually, but it's not her fault. How do you know of my past? It's kind of pointless. Actually, you know what? It's not that pointless. How do you know of my past?
Your path is laid out before me and plain to see. In the lines of your face and the scars on your heart. Do you believe you failed Shiani?
No, I don't. Vagon is the villain, not me.
Then you do not dwell on past mistakes.
It wasn't a mistake, I just said it.
Neither yours nor someone else's.
It is sometimes difficult to see how our actions affect an outcome. But that does not mean our actions had no effect.
What's past is past. Why bring it up and open old wounds?
It seems that reflection on past mistakes is a constant preoccupation of the religious mind.
Accept your failings, but do not let them govern your life.
You could not have known what would happen. You did what you thought was best.
And what of those that follow you?
I have no
Ask
idea.
your question, Guardian. I am ready.
Oh, that's
You
interesting.
are ever the advisor, ready with a word of wisdom.
Sometimes.
Do you wonder if you spout only platitudes, burned into your mind in the distant past? Perhaps you are only a tool, used to spread the word of the circle and the chantry.
He's calling you a tool.
Does doubt ever chip away at your truths?
You framed the statement in the form of a question.
That was a
Yet
question.
you already know our answers. There is no sense in hiding, is there? Yes, I do doubt at times. Only the fool is completely certain of himself.
And you, why do you say the Maker speaks to you, when all know that the Maker has left? He spoke only to Andraste. Do you believe yourself her equal?
I never said that.
In Orlais you were someone. In Lothering, you feared you would lose yourself, become a drab sister, and disappear. When your brothers and sisters of the cloister criticized you for what you professed, you were hurt, but you also reveled in it. It made you special. You enjoyed the attention, even if it was negative.
You're saying that I made it up for the attention? I did not. I know what I believe.
Shale, the stone giant. There is so little I can draw from you. I feel the distant echo of a soul, dormant for so long, now awake.
Good for you.
And with the awakening, the slow realization of all you have lost. Ah, Shale, Your entire existence is a test of your will and courage. You have my respect. The way is open. Good luck, and may you find what you seek.
I will, don't worry about it. I have no idea what those lines were that they talked about, the failings and whatever, and especially Shale's line about the religious, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? There's so many lines about that, and none of them made any sense to me. They are... First off, I'm not the one that carries the burden here in any of the ways. It wasn't my failing, for one. And also, I wasn't the one who was... Well, Shani was raped, basically. So, yeah, this is not about me. The Maker... What is that one? The Maker's first children. And what is that? Let's read about that. The Maker's first creation were the spirits, glorious beings that populated many spires of the Golden City. The Maker realized his own folly. He had created the spirits to resemble him. But he was ugly, so he didn't like them. The Maker created the world, and the living beings upon it separated from the Fade by the veil. The spirits grew jealous, much like... this is the resembling of the Tolkien creation thing. The Iluvatar and the Vala and the Maya. Actually, Valar and the Maiar, because that's how we pluralize those in Kenya? Quenya. Anyway, the spirits grew in power, however. Some of them became contemptuous of the living. Is that a parallel to... Yeah, that's a parallel to angels. And the demons are... that's the explanation of the spirits. Good stuff. Okay, now, this gauntlet. Excuse me? By the way, I'm really glad that he talked to Shale. I was sort of afraid that he wouldn't, because she's from the DLC. I think she is. I'm not actually sure about that. Excuse me.
Echoes from a shadow realm, whispers of things yet to come. Thought's strange sister dwells in night, is swept away by dawning light. Of what do I speak?
Wait, what? Okay, can you repeat that, please?
Echoes from a shadow realm, whispers of things yet to come. Thought's strange sister dwells in night, is swept away by dawning light. Of what do I speak?
I can only think of the moon right now. I'm not really sure what the thing yet to come might be, unless we're talking about the moon being the reflection, or having not being a endoluminous. Is it endoluminous body? I'm not actually sure if that's the term. Either way, the moon doesn't have its own light, insofar as that's a thing. It is, but it's complicated. Anyway, the moon reflects the sun, the light of the sun, and that's how it has light. That distinction is super modern. I wouldn't find it appropriate to be told in a game like this. Not that they wouldn't know how the moon works, but we haven't talked about astrology at all. And also, through the point, apparently this planet has a moon, because it's evidently not Earth. So, I guess it is the moon. But yeah, I understand it's just a riddle. And I think it is the moon.
That is not of what I speak.
Aw. I'm sorry. Well. Stab, stab. Stun. Didn't work quite well. Excuse me, I must stab you in the back. What was that? Dreams? Because the dreams don't actually... Yeah. I don't like it. Oh my god, there's... Because the dreams don't actually speak of things to come. I mean, objectively speaking, and also realistically speaking. When I mean objectively, I mean, like, dreams may not speak of things to come. And when I say realistically speaking, I mean they don't, because that's not... Premonition is not a thing. But... Anyway.
The smallest lark could carry it, while a strong man might not. Of what do I speak?
The plague?
That is not of what I speak.
You're so vague. That's not nice. Not that this dialogue system is really good. It's not really good for riddles like this. Baldur's Gate has the best riddles, I find. Baldur's Gate 2 specifically has the best riddles. And I really enjoy them. But apparently these ones can just be bypassed. My answer there would have been nothing. But nothing is not the correct answer, naturally, because the, well, because the strongest man might also carry nothing. Yeah, anyway. Thane something or other.
I'd neither a guest nor a trespasser be. In this place I belong, that belongs also to me. Of what do I speak?
It'd be nice if you didn't say that. Oh. Home. Home. That's, yeah.
It was my dream for the people to have a home of their own, where we would have no masters but ourselves. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and thus we followed Andraste against the Imperium. But she was betrayed, and so were we.
Aw, I wanted to know the other ones. I guess I'm safe scumming. Hi.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
It's the egg.
The debt of blood must be paid in full.
Oh.
Of what do I speak?
Vengeance?
Yes, my husband Hissarion would have chosen a quick death for Andraste. I made him swear that she would die publicly with her war leaders, that all would know the Imperium's strength. I am justice. I am vengeance. Blood can only be repaid in blood.
Did Andraste actually invade? She invaded, didn't she? Maybe not so much of a an analog for Jesus Christ then, I guess. Although that line right there applied to Jesus kind of could be taken as that, as the Romans, a show of strength and whatnot. It's complicated. I just want you guys not to be there. Thank you. Let's have a chat with Mr. Disciple.
The bones of the world stretched towards the sky's embrace.
Mountains.
Veiled in white.
Mountains.
Like a bride greeting her groom.
Okay.
Of what do I speak?
Not mountains then, but obviously the mountains.
Yes. I carried Andraste's ashes out of Tevinter into the mountains to the east, where she could gaze ever into her Maker's sky. No more fitting a tomb than this could we find.
I'm pretty sure I did a good thing by killing the whites that appeared. Mr. General.
A poison of the soul, passion's cruel counterpart. From love she grows, till love lies slain. Of what do I speak?
I was gonna say jealousy, but that's so commonplace that I think it's correct.
Yes, jealousy drove me to betrayal. I was the greatest general of the Alamari. But beside her, I was nothing. Hundreds fell before her on bended knee. They loved her, as did the Maker. I loved her too. But what man can compare with a god?
Many ways to that works. It's fine. It's fine. Mr. Disciple.
No man has seen it, but all men know it. Lighter than air, sharper than any sword. Comes from nothing, but will fell the strongest armies. Of what do I speak?
Lightning is a thing, but people can see lightning. Hunger cannot be seen. Comes from nothing. That sounds like a thing. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yes, hunger was the weapon used against the wicked men of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker kindled the sun's flame, scorching the land. Their crops failed, and their armies could not march. Then he opened the heavens and bade the waters flow, and washed away their filth. I am Cather, disciple of Andraste and commander of her armies. I saw these things done and knew the Makers smiled on us.
And now for Mr. Archon. He's got quite the hair.
She wields the
No,
broken
it's a hat.
sword and separates true kings from tyrants. Of what do I speak?
The broken sword? Mercy?
Yes, I could not bear the sight of Andraste's suffering, and Mercy bade me end her life. I am the penitent sinner, who shows compassion as he hopes compassion will be shown to him.
Such an interesting thing that Mercy be seen as it's more in fantasy. It's a little bit more of a fitting trope. Trope, not in the sense, you know, a trope is not necessarily a bad thing. It is still a trope that mercy is seen as a valor of or as a virtue. But it's more fitting for fantasy because, you know, people wield so much power, be it supernatural power or just kings, because kings, of course, have their ultimate power, which is not actually historically realistic, or even not. You don't even need to look at history, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. Mercy it is then, and the end of the episode, because we're out of time for the day. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and she has horns in her hat. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.